Hi gang, welcome to today's video where I am going to be showing you how I got these two eyeshadow looks using Pat McGrath Labs Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction. And this is really in hopeful anticipation that she will have a Black Friday sale this year. So if you want to see how I got these two looks, keep watching. Okay, just a couple of notes before we get going today. I have already applied some of my complexion products just so that we can really focus on the eyeshadow looks. I also applied eyeshadow primer from Rare Beauty, which I always use. And then I also already did brows. So with that, we can get into unwrapping Moonlit Seduction. And while we're doing this, I'll just tell you that in addition to anticipating a Black Friday sale for Pat McGrath, the other thing that really inspired this video was that I went to Nashville last weekend to enjoy some birthday celebrations with my best friend Amy. And for our big night out on Saturday night, she wanted me to do her eyeshadow. And so one of these looks, this side, is going to be the Amy eye, and then this side is going to be the eyeshadow look that I created for myself. So to get started here, I am going to start in the outer corner with this, I believe it's called Extreme Nocturne, which is sort of a brownish black. And I'm just going to apply that in the outer corner to develop some depth out here and start working on the structure that I want to build. Both of these looks really use the same framework, but with different shadows. And we will use almost every shadow in the pan between the two of them. So hopefully that shows you what kind of versatility you can have here and how you can make some small changes to create different looks, depending on what you're wearing or what have you. And now I'm just kind of going above the crease a bit here and starting to bring this forward a bit, very lightly, because I am going to add another shadow here. This is just kind of getting a base down. And let me tell you, applying eyeshadow to Amy was really interesting because, well, for one, I haven't put makeup on another person since probably I was in high school. And then the other thing is that Amy has a completely different eye shape than I do. So, you know, if you have hooded eyes or deep set eyes, you become used to, applying things a certain way in order to get around with or work with your features. And Amy has absolutely no hooding. And so I was like, what is this madness that I can just sort of put this on here and it's not going to all disappear when you open your eyes wide? Okay, so I'm just kind of trying to get another vantage point here to see if this is where I want it, and it is. And now I am going to take Rephr 15 brush. That was the mini one brush from Rephr that I used before, and I'm going to apply this shade, I believe it's called Plum Cabaret, on the crease. I mean, I'm actually going a little bit above the crease here, but I'm using almost no pressure here because I'm trying to apply this as lightly as possible. And again, this is just trying to build that framework, that structure of the eye. I'm going to bring it down onto that Extreme Nocturne a bit. And I'm going to try to work this out a little bit so that I don't have any harsh lines in my look. Okay. And I can always go and add more if I decide that's warranted. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Intensify stick from Pat McGrath. And if you don't have this, I highly recommend it. It's great for use not only with Pat McGrath shadows, but really anytime you're going to be using any eyeshadow, especially if it has shimmer, sparkles, glitter particles, whatever it may be, this can really help with longevity. So I'm going to apply this across the bottom, the mobile lid, excuse me, all the way, just about, because I am going to use a couple of different shimmers down here. Like I said, we're going to use almost every shadow in this palette. So I'm going to start off with this gold color here that's on the bottom row. I think this actually is called bronze, some sort of bronze officially. So I'm starting kind of about halfway onto my lid and patting this on with my finger. And now as I have less, I'm kind of patting more towards the inside. And because I have shorter nails, I can also use sort of the tip of my finger to pat up into the crease just a little bit to make my mobile lid look larger. And now I'm going to take this sort of pinky color here, and I'm going to put a little bit of that just on the other side of that gold. And again, I'm going to kind of actually get that into the crease itself and down towards the lash line. And now, to sort of finish that up, I'm actually going to take, this is a brush by Katie Jane Hughes. It's a part of her collab with Spectrum. And I'm going to pick up some of this shade here, which is a sort of creamy white, just to add brightness here towards the very inner part of my eye. Try to give you a better look at what I'm doing. And I'm going to kind of swoop this up a little bit above where I applied sort of that pink shimmer. And again, this is all designed to sort of open up this area of my eye and make it look as large as possible. Okay, so I think I like that gradient. Really, that's what we were trying to do, is create sort of a gradient effect. I want to make sure I don't lose all of the darkness out here in the outer corner. So I'm going to take my Rephr 01 Mini again and just tap into that Extreme Nocturne a bit. And I'm going to pat that on, concentrating kind of towards the lash line and up above the crease, because I want to create sort of this rounded effect right here, again, to make my eyes look large and in charge. Pop. I am going to add a little more above my natural crease here as well. And now I'm sort of, this is one of the great things about the Rephr 1 brushes, is it has this really flat side, but then it also can be used as sort of a broad stroke if you want to blend out. So again, the flat side is great for application, and then the broad angle is great for fading out the color. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good, pretty good. Let me just clean up a bit here underneath. I did get some fallout, not too bad though. So put that, and then I'm going to pat that dry a little bit. Try to gently brush away any glitter that came down. And then I'm going to do my little trick that helps me understand if I really do have the right shape for my eye as a whole. And that is to take my Endless Cacao pencil from Makeup Forever and apply this sort of along the lash line, a little bit below, about halfway in. And like I said, this helps me determine if I have the shape the way that I actually want it. I can smudge this out a little bit. I probably am going to have to clean up that a little bit. I got it a little further out than I wanted. Or maybe I'll just go with it because you know what? This was a nighttime look. I mean, we were going out to this music show, a band that was playing on the rooftop of a building in downtown Nashville. The venue is actually called Skydeck, and it was unbelievable. It was a beautiful night, great weather. There was some sort of, it looked like harvest moon that was out, and the band is called Rubik's Groove. And so they play cover tunes from 80s, 90s, early 2000s. They did entire segments where it just went year to year to year to year of rap music. They were in costumes. There was a guy who was dressed up like Teen Wolf. It was a blast. I'm not sure if they play outside of Nashville, but if you're ever planning to go to Nashville, it's definitely worth checking out if Rubik's Groove is playing anywhere. Okay, so I've got that lower lash line pencil where I want it, and now I am going to use Pat McGrath liner across the top lash line just a bit, to sort of deepen that up along the lash line. I believe this is the shade Coffee. I'll link everything down below so that you know for sure what I used. I'd look at the pencil and tell you, but I don't have my glasses on, which means that I have no idea what it says. So that there. Okay. And I am going to clean that up just a little bit. Now, I am going to go ahead and do the shadow on the other eye before I do mascara across the board. So let's get rolling with the other eye. So like I said, I started out the same way using Extreme Nocturne in the outer corner. Hopefully I don't totally destroy my own look. So just laying this down, same way, trying to get that shape, and swooping up now above the crease. I'm barely applying any pressure at all, and I didn't pick up a ton on the brush, just so that I don't make the mistake of overdoing it and then I'm trying to remove. If you hadn't noticed or I hadn't mentioned, something else that I like to do to try to make my eyes look larger and a little bit more dramatic is when I'm using this color in the crease, I'm not really coming down like this, but I'm coming more over towards my nose. Bring in the drama. Okay, so let me see. I think I've got that where I want it. And then in the crease, I use this shade that's more of a rose. I think it's called Rose Romantique. So I'm going to apply that much in the same way as I did on the other side in the crease. It's really just above the crease for me. Since my eyes are a bit hooded. And I'm even coming down a little bit into that Extreme Nocturne. And I'm gonna blend this out a bit more here. Make sure I have a nice blend on that. It's going to be really fun. It's the middle of the day right now, and I have carpool later. So yes, I am going to show up in carpool with 2 different eyes. I love it. Don't you ever just, as a mom, if you're a mom, want people to go, what's wrong with her? Okay. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the Extreme Nocturne. Again, I mean, you can see, like, I'm not even holding it like a pencil. I'm sort of holding it towards the end because I'm really applying very little pressure. So when I say I'm applying more, I am, but I'm not using a lot of pressure when I do it. All right, so again, with the Intensify stick, all the way from the inner corner to the outer. And for this one, and I cannot remember for the life of me what this one's called, but this is this duochrome shade here that has like a blue and sort of a pinky red in it. I think this is my favorite shade in the palette. It's just so beautiful and unique. And I'm tapping that into the center of my eye. Wow. Definitely has a lot of impact. This one is falling out a bit more than the bronzy gold did. I have to admit, I also did really load up my finger just because I love this shade so much. Okay, so I'm just tapping that in, and again, I'm using sort of the tip of my finger to get all the way up, kind of into the crease there. Okay. I love that shade. I am going to go ahead and take a little bit more of the Extreme Nocturne and just try to marry these a little bit better. And I am focusing more kind of towards the bottom. Okay, so we've got that down. Oh, I want more. I just can't help myself. Give me more. Okay, and then I'm going to take this sort of really, really, really light lavender shade here at the bottom. It's really crumbly, so if you have this palette, just, I would say, be mindful of that. And I'm going to tap that into the inner corner. Let me grab that brush that I used before. This is just a flat brush. I'm going to try to pick up some of that little lavender color here. And again, I'm kind of working it higher than you might think you want to. I'm going all the way to the inner corner there. And I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that center shade to marry these up a little bit better. Okay, so those are the 2 different looks for the most part. Let me do some cleanup and then do that eyeliner. And then, of course, I'm going to do the mascara. So again, taking my Makeup Forever Endless Cacao pencil and running that along the lower lash line, about halfway in. Ooh, I got it really deep on that one. Here, let me deepen this one up. Let's do it. And on the top lash line, I've just been sort of putting things wherever. So now it's getting where I can't find anything. I'm gonna add a little bit of liner across the top here. The top lash line, only about halfway in. You may have noticed I did that on both eyes. Along the top. I'm not really doing a wing, but I am making it a little bit thicker towards the end. Okay, so I think that we're good there. I am going to apply now some Pat McGrath Labs mascara. I've used the large one before. This is just a mini that I have on hand. And so I thought I would open this one up. Ooh, where are my lash curler? Got to curl the lashes for a nighttime look. So my Shiseido eyelash curler as normal. And pressing once nicely at the base and then sort of working it up and out. And doing that on the other side. Hopefully not taking off gobs of eyeshadow in the process. Okay. All right, on to the mascara. This is a new tube, so this could be, a very wet formula at this stage. So this mascara has a pretty large wand on it. You know, I'm used to using the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara, which is my day-to-day favorite. This one obviously is going to apply quite differently. I'm going to make sure that I really get into the base of my lashes. This is going to create probably a thicker look than the Tower 28. And of course I did have liner as well. So, and I think I've picked up a hair. I have. There, got it. Okay, so that is one coat down on that eye. Get some more here and do the Shannon eye. Quickly getting close to completion here on the Shannon eye and the Amy eye. I'll tell you this, it took a lot longer on Saturday night. Not to do mine. I managed to get mine on quickly. By the time I had finished Amy's eyeshadow look, we were running behind, so I had to throw myself together pretty quickly, which was fine. I managed to do it. I'm gonna get some more mascara here. This is a mini tube, so to make sure I get in there and get it. Okay. Trying to get some of these baby lashes at the front. I actually did not apply mascara to Amy. I was not going to risk that. Need any injuries before we went out, so I did her eyeshadow and the eyeliner, and then sent her on her way upstairs to apply mascara and her complexion products. And when I met her back downstairs after we were both dressed, I actually said to her, did you change your eyeshadow? Did you do something? It looks really good. And she was like, no, this is what you did. And I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. Okay, for the bottom lash, I'm going to use the Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara. I told Amy when she was going to apply mascara on the bottom lashes just to really focus on the outer edge. She said she typically doesn't wear, ooh, God, I've got another hair here, a fuzz. She said she typically doesn't wear mascara on her lower lashes at all. Of course, she does not have blonde eyelashes, so she can get away with that. She doesn't need as much. And over here. I love this bottom lash mascara. It just makes things so easy. And now I'm going to go up here. I might do another coat of the Dark Star mascara as well, but this bottom lash mascara makes it so easy to make sure you've got mascara all along the root and also on any baby lashes you may have in the inner and outer corner. Just part of the reason that I love it. And I am going to apply a little bit more of this Dark Star. Because, like I said, these are party looks. And I think these looks could work if you are looking for eyeshadow looks for the holiday party season. I have worn this look, my Shannon look, to many a festive get-togethers. Okay, so there are both of the eyes done for the most part. The only other things that I wanted to do to sort of finish up is apply some more powder underneath my eyes. Since I did have to do some cleanup before I do, I am going to put a little bit of eye cream down just to put some of that moisture back in. So like I said, I'm going to apply this blurring powder from Pat McGrath, and I'm also going to use her bronzer, which is my everyday bronzer. Okay, and I'm going to tap that in. Make sure it's, give it a minute to dry. While that's drying, I'll grab that bronzer, like I said, boop, and pardon me, excuse me for my disappearance. I forgot to get my bronzer brush. So this is a Rephr 4, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that and try to sculpt the cheeks. And I'm going to apply a little bit underneath my chin, along the jawline, and down the neck. Okay. And to give that powder something better to stick to, I'm also going to apply a little bit of concealer back. I don't have any Pat McGrath. Oh, I do. Listen to me, Lon, telling y'all stories. I do have Pat McGrath Labs concealer. It is one of my faves, but my Tower 28 is so new that I just have been grabbing for it. But yes, I do have a concealer from Pat McGrath, and this is one of my faves. My other brushes are hiding, so I'm just going to tap this in with my finger. And I'm going to go all the way up into here, inside of my nose, and try to cover some of this redness out here. I feel red overall. I had something spicy for lunch, and like a lot of people with Irish heritage, I immediately started to get sort of red-faced after or while I was eating it. So, okay. Oops. Oh, the extra concealer there is not going to hurt, is it? We're out here. I've gotten so accustomed to using my kitten paw for concealer, kitten paw brush, that I practically don't know how to do this with a finger anymore. Okay, so just Making sure that that is worked in. And patting with your fingers like that helps to ensure that, or helps cut down on the potential for creasing when you do apply a powder. I am going to have to go back here and get my brushes. Hold on. Okay, let me find a good brush for this. I think I am going to use, this is a, I think this is a Rephr 35. And Pat McGrath did come out with a pink version of this. I didn't purchase it because I already had this white one, but this is just to set the under eyes, really. And obviously it's going to be bright. I did hear people say that they didn't see a lot of difference between the white and the pink in terms of the brightening ability. And I'm going to bring a little bit of this down too into my T-zone. Try to cover up some of that redness from eating spicy foods. Maybe kind of do a little bit up here. Okay, so I believe that is everything now. Let me take my little hair clip out, because you know I wasn't wearing that Saturday night. And I am going to apply a little bit of lipstick. This is actually a lipstick from Beauty Pie. Just get some color here. So I said I typically spend so much time on my eyeshadow because that is my favorite thing. Then when it gets to lips, I'm just like, okay, let's just throw some lipstick on. Okay, so that's it. That's the look, or maybe I should say the two looks. So we have the Shannon eye on this side that has that bluish red shift, and then over here we have the gold. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video and seeing the two different eye looks. And, you know, I'd say keep an eye out for the Black Friday sale from Pat McGrath. She sometimes does 30 to 40% off. And then it looks like Sephora is also going to do something Black Friday related where Pat McGrath will be on sale the week of Thanksgiving. So they didn't state how much off they're going to give on Pat McGrath products, and I'm not sure which products they'll be offering at a discount. So you'll just have to keep an eye out for that as well. So thank you so much for watching today. If you liked this video, please hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.